Knowing an IP address can be important for several reasons. Identifying the source of online threats. If you are experiencing online harassment, cyberbullying, or any other form of malicious activity, knowing the IP address of the person responsible can be helpful in identifying and reporting them to the appropriate authorities. Investigating email scams or phishing attempts. Scammers often use email as a means to deceive and defraud people. Tracking the IP address of the sender can provide clues about their location and potentially help in identifying and reporting the scammer. Enhancing online security. By monitoring the IP addresses accessing your online accounts or network, you can identify any suspicious or unauthorized activity. This knowledge allows you to take appropriate security measures, such as changing passwords, enabling two-factor authentication, or blocking specific IP addresses. Geolocation and website analytics. IP addresses can be used to gather general geolocation data, helping website owners understand the demographics and locations of their visitors. This information can be useful for marketing, targeted advertising, and improving user experience. Network troubleshooting. When facing technical issues with your network or internet connection, knowing the IP address can aid in diagnosing and resolving problems. IT professionals often use IP addresses to identify devices, check connectivity, and troubleshoot network-related issues. However, it's important to note that IP addresses alone do not provide personal identification or physical location with absolute accuracy. Additional steps and information may be required to establish the true identity and location of an individual behind an IP address. To determine your IP address, you can follow these steps. Using a web browser, go to a website that displays your IP address. There are several websites available for this purpose, such as https://www.whatismyip.com or https://www.whatismyipaddress.com. Once you access the website, it will automatically display your IP address on the homepage. Alternatively, you can also find your IP address using the following methods. On Windows, press the Windows key plus R to open the Run dialog box. Type CMD and press Enter to open the command prompt. In the command prompt, type ipconfig and press Enter. Look for the IPv4 address under the network adapter you are currently using. This will display your IP address. On macOS, click on the Apple menu in the top left corner and select System Preferences. In the System Preferences window, click on Network. Select your active network connection, Wi-Fi or Ethernet, from the left sidebar. Your IP address will be displayed on the right side of the window, next to IP address or IPv4 address. On Linux, open a terminal window. Type ifconfig or ipadder and press Enter. Look for the network adapter you are currently using, e.g., ETH0 or WLAN 0. Your IP address will be displayed next to iNet or iNetAddr. On mobile devices, iOS and Android, open the Settings app. Depending on your device, go to either Wi-Fi or Connections Settings. Tap on your currently connected Wi-Fi network. The IP address will be displayed along with other network details. Note that the exact steps and locations of IP address information may vary slightly depending on the operating system and device you are using. On other hands, tracking the IP address of an email sender can be a complex process, and it may not always lead to accurate or reliable information. However, here are a few steps you can take to gather some basic information about the IP address. Find the email headers. Most email clients allow you to view the email headers, which contain technical details about the email. The process for accessing email headers varies depending on the email client or service you use. Look for options like View Source, Message Source, or Show Original. Locate the IP address. Once you have accessed the email headers, look for the Received or X Originating IP field. This field usually contains the IP address of the sender. Determine the true IP address. Sometimes, the IP address in the email headers might not be the actual sender's IP address. This can happen if the email was sent through a proxy server or if the sender used anonymization techniques. In such cases, you might see the IP address of the server or service used to send the email, rather than the sender's actual IP address. Use IP lookup tools. With the IP address in hand, you can use online IP lookup tools to gather information about its general location and Internet Service Provider, ISP. Websites like whatismyipaddress.com, IP2 Location, or ARIN's WHOIS database can provide some basic details about the IP address. Keep in mind that these methods may not always yield accurate or actionable information, particularly if the email sender has taken steps to hide their identity or use anonymous services. If you are dealing with a scam or harassment situation, it is generally recommended to report the incident to your local authorities or the appropriate cybercrime unit, providing them with any relevant information you have. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, share, like and comment.